What's up, you guys, man? This is Mental Awakening Podcast, man. I appreciate all the love, all the support. Thank you for being here today. If you listen on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Turn on that bell so you get notified every time I drop a vid. If you're listening on Spotify, go ahead and hit that bell so you get notified every time I drop a pod. Let's get these subscribers up, man. Let's get to it. So the topic for today I wanted to talk about is when you come to the fork in the road, and it's like, everybody probably, what does that mean? You know the fork in the road. It's that decision time. We all come to these flashpoint moments in our lives, and we are literally at a road where it divides. It's like a fork. It's three things on this fork, right? And then there's two on the outside. It's different paths, different parts, goes different ways. So when you come to that split, there's a path that way, there's a path that way. And you gotta pick. And you gotta make sure that you choose wisely. It's a lot of things that go into that decision of what you want to do. First, seek guidance. Meditate. Look for signs. Because there ain't, like I said, nothing happens by coincidence. You'll get a clear sign from the universal God, and the universe will let you know what it is. The universe will also allow you to tap in and get what you need, as long as you get the clarity that you need. And that's one thing that I'm working on too, is more clarity. I want more clarity. I'm seeing stuff for real, for not what they present themselves to be, but for what it is, for real. And that's okay. You know, sometimes putting on the glasses and seeing what things are really about, it's hurtful. And it's kind of a not so gracious thing, man, and it's tough. But I'm built for this. Anything that I've ever been through, I'm built for. Anything that I've ever done, anything I've ever had, trial I went through, anything, I was built for that trial. I was built for it. I was built for it. I was supposed to go through that. There was a lesson in there. Now, I may not have got it at the time, but the older I get, the more and more the lessons tend to come back. They come back, and they confirm themselves. You know, they confirm themselves through others, you know, and through, you know, just decisions, man. You know, it's a lot of decisions that go on and that happen that are out of our control sometimes, but are in our control too. And we must understand that we can control what we control. And that's it. You can't control others' emotions and others' feelings. And so when you come to that flashpoint, that fork in the road, it's a lot of things you got to take into consideration in that moment. The first thing you take in consideration is you. How do you benefit? How do you feel? What's the pros and cons of whatever you're doing? You must think about it in that form. You gotta think you first. And then you include your family and the people around you. How will it affect them? The pros and cons. I'm telling you, you have to weigh it out. Because there's some fork in the road moments that's going to require you to It may feel one way one day, and then the next day, you get a sign that it's the complete opposite. And so we got to be ready for whatever. And the narrative that is being carried on out there is always choose family first. Family should be included in your decision, but you don't include them. You don't. That's not first. You should be first. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you have to live with whatever decision you made. Your family's your family, but you have to live with that decision that you made, whatever it is, whatever it is. So you better make sure that you're making the right decision for you first. Does it go along with you morally, spiritually, physically, mentally? Mind, body, and soul, man. I tell you guys that all the time. Mind, body, and soul must be aligned in whatever decision that you're making. But this fork in the road that I'm referring to, I've gone through it, and there's several flashpoint moments in my life where there was a fork in the road, and I had to pick. And the fact that I'm still here today with you guys, I picked correctly. I did. Because one of the flashpoint moments in my life was about a little bit over a year ago. I was in a car accident. Right? Car spun around several times. And almost went off an embankment. And I remember how I felt in that moment. I was scared. I was nervous. I couldn't believe what was happening. And most of all, I was alone. And I realized that I had to deal with some demons before the demons dealt with me. In that moment, that was my fork in the road. Either embrace the demons and just continue to do what I do, or you fix it. Go to the core of that thing and fix it at the root. Go back and feel all the emotions of that time and that moment and see where that thing stems from. And when I got to the end of that decision, and my first fork in the road moment was I dealt with separation anxiety so freaking bad. I dealt with it so bad. And if just a little quick definition of separation anxiety is just you don't do well with people leaving or goodbyes or anything like that. And that was me. I just don't do well with them. I cried every time. That stemmed from childhood. You gotta heal your childhood trauma. And I let that thing fester. I let it fester. And it came out that night because, like a dummy, I decided to drive to South Carolina from Pennsylvania, which is a 10-hour trip, 9-hour trip, to go get somebody who had left. It's 4 in the morning. I was not in the right state of mind. That night was so wild. And that was a fork in the road moment. That was one of them where I had to realize that, yeah, this not working. Doing the same status quo, doing the same regimen, it's not working. I gotta do different. And once I dealt with those demons, I got rid of them. I can stand here today, say I'm no longer at that fork in the road. I made my decision and I'm rolling with it. So that's how I move in life. Any decision that I make, I'm rolling with it. I'm built for it. I'm ready for it. And it's okay because you gotta go through some things sometimes. And I'm gonna do it with a smile on my face because I've came a long way. I fought through a lot. I've been through a lot. I've done a lot. All in all, I'm still standing. Because that night, I made a decision. All right, you guys, listen, I appreciate y'all for being here today. I really do. I want to thank y'all for pulling up on me and just, listening. This was a good session for both of us. You feel me? So go ahead and like, comment, subscribe to the channel. It's the Mental Awakening Podcast. And I will see you guys on Friday. All right. Peace.